Hello, everyone. It's Rabbi Bolton, and here's a story. Have I told you this story before? I don't remember, but I'll tell it to you now because it's a good story about Sukkot. In the reign of terror of Stalin, as it was not uncommon, and it was very common that people got killed for no reason, and they got sent to Siberia for no reason. And they were sent to other places also. They were sent to, here we have two Chassidim, two Chabad Chassidim, and they are sent to Uzbekistan, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm trying to remember their names, and I never do. If I remember properly, one is called Mochkin, and the other one was called Prus, but I'm not really sure. So I think some say that the other one was anyway, it's not important. Two Hasidic Chabad. So they had to report like once every day, once every other day. They had to report to the KGB headquarters over there in Uzbekistan, and they were basically watched all the time. So they couldn't really do what they wanted to. So was approaching the holiday of Sukkot. Is that what it said? Sukkot. Anyway, they were approaching the holiday of Sukkot. If I make any mistakes in this, I just woke up, so time is sort of. We were up to really late last night. We made a big show. Bring it. Okay. So one of them says to the other, woe is us. When we were in Lubavitch, we used to make a sukkah, and we used to make it. Now we can't make a sukkah. We can't do any commandments. And the other said, the fact is we've got a sukkah. Where do we have a sukkah? The way the roads worked over there was the houses. It wasn't like a street with houses. You could see the houses. It was a street. All you could see on both sides was like this big wall, both sides. And then once in a while, there would be this big, huge opening. You'd go in the opening, and that would be like a courtyard. And around this courtyard were the entrances to all the apartments. But the entrances weren't on the street. They were from the back courtyard. It's sort of like in the Talmud, there was a situation. They described that that's the way houses were in a courtyard. Okay. So he said, well, I went in back of one of these openings in the back of the street where the street wasn't. And I noticed that there was an old hut. And, I looked around, I looked inside, and it was just filled with nothing, with old pieces of junk. So I took the pieces of junk out, and, I was careful that nobody was watching me. And every day I would take off another shingle from the roof, or from another piece of board from the roof. And I put on the roof pieces of foliage, like a broken tree, a piece. I put it up there. And that's what a schach is. That's what a sukkah is made of. So we've got a kosher sukkah, so we can sit there tonight. Tonight's going to be the holiday. So, I'll bring bread, and I'll try to get wine. I'll squeeze some grapes, something, and you bring fish and some vegetables and whatever we can. We'll make a little meal. We'll do it late at night so nobody notices, and that's it. I've already got it. I set up over the two little boxes for chairs, and another box for a table. And wow, that's just really great. Wonderful. So that's what they did. And that night they met, and the two Hasidim met by the Sukkah. And one said, I brought the bread, like I said I was going to bring. And I also found a few vegetables. He says, yeah, I found vegetables. There's no meat, but I found some fish. And the one who made this whole thing said, listen, but I've got a piece of bad news and a piece of good news. Two pieces of bad news and one piece of good news. This is bad news. What do you got? Bad news? He says, tell me one piece of bad news. He says, one piece of bad news is I couldn't find any wine. Couldn't find any wine. But I have good news, is that I found vodka. And we'll make kiddush tonight That's how the holiday starts. Kiddush. I'll make Kiddush on vodka. And the other one said, oh, no, you make the Kiddush, but I can't, I've got ulcers. I can't. So, come on, this is a holiday. It's a Jewish holiday. Not only that, one time he drank a little bit. He says, no, we'll start making noise and people will notice. So we're not going to make any noise. You don't have to worry about it. We're Chabad Hasidim. We know how to hold our liquor, Okay, good. 1 second. You said there was 2 pieces. What's the other piece of bad news? Oh, yeah. He said, well, I checked to see in back of which house did we build, did I build the sukkah, was the hut? And I sort of figured out, and we're right in the back of the headquarters of the KGB offices over here. So the other one said, that's pretty bad news. We can't do this. He says, no, listen, it's a big deal. We'll make the Kiddush, drink a little bit of this, vodka, and we'll wash our hands and we'll eat a few little bit of bread. We'll sing one little song, and that's it, And we'll make the after blessing after the bread. And finished, but we got to make it. So the other one said, okay, so that's what they did. So they made Kiddush on the vodka. They had little cups, right? And they made Kiddush on the vodka. And they went outside and they washed their hands really quietly. You have to wash your hands from, cup. They had the water was all prepared. And they came back. Meanwhile, while this process, they're washing their hands and they're eating, they're coming, so the vodka is kicking in and they don't have much in their stomachs as it is. So it's starting to, it's do its job. So they eat a little bit of bread, a little bit, and they start to feel happy. They start to feel happy. We say, we did it, right under their eyes. And he said, but we got to be quiet because they don't. So the one said, we have to be quiet. Yeah, but Chag Sameach. They start to sing a little bit. And as the vodka has its effect, so the sukkah becomes bigger and bigger, and Russia becomes smaller and smaller until all there is just these 2 Chassidim sitting in the sukkah. That's all there is in the world, and God is with them, and they start to sing. Anyway, they forget about all. They throw caution to the winds, and they start to sing. And they're standing. All of a sudden, a knock on the door. So what's going to be this? They open up the door, and there is standing Ibrim. They're all the Arabs over there, I guess, Muslims. Ibrim. Now, Ibrim is a nice guy. He's like the superintendent of the building where they live. Oh, hello, Ibrim. Said Ibrim says, "What are you fellas doing here?" So they say, "Oh, it's a birthday. We're just celebrating a birthday." And he said, "Oh yeah, whose birthday?" And each one points to the other one, his birthday. So he said, "Listen, I know what you're doing. This is your holiday, right? Prazdnik, it's your holiday in Russian. Prazdnik is holiday. This is your holiday, right? You're celebrating this." Says, yeah, it's we got a little holiday, and drank a little, but there's nothing wrong with that. So there's nothing wrong with that. He said, well, I want you to know, couldn't you pick a different place to put your little booth? I was just up in that room, see right up there, with my my uncle, Camille. Now, Camille, he was the head of the KGB. Everyone's afraid of him. Just his very name sent shivers through everybody's spine. Camille. It's because the communists, they gave these people like ultimate power, right? You see, a person was against the government. That was like being against all mankind. You could do anything you wanted to. It says, Camille. Says, yeah, he's my uncle. He's my uncle. I was up in his office up there, and he heard all the commotion that you're making. He opened up his window, and he called me over to the window, and he pointed to a little booth down here, and he said, you know what that is? So I said, I don't know. A couple of people got drunk. He says, no. Says, that's just not a couple of people. That's those Jews. So I said, okay, they can get drunk. There's nothing bad about that. Nothing against them. He said, yeah, you know why they're drunk? You know why they're singing today? He says, because they're happy. You know why they're happy? Because it's their holiday. They're celebrating their holiday. That's the reason they got sent out here into exile, because they celebrate their holidays. He said to me, Ibrahim, listen, says those Jews, they know that everyone in the world hates them. And those Jews know that I hate them. And what do? They're happy. They rejoice. He sent me down here and he said, Ibrahim, go down there. I would go myself, but I know it would ruin their holiday. Go down there and tell them that I'm jealous of them. That Camille is jealous of them. And wish them a happy holiday. That's it. And he closed the door. After they got out, years later, they said that that was the happiest Sukkot that they ever had in their whole lives. They transformed bitterness to sweetness, darkness to light, mourning to joy. And that's the purpose of our Sukkot that we sit in now. And that's one of the reasons that we're ostracized by the non-Jews, because they're jealous of us. They know that God of Israel is creating them, is creating the whole world. And we're the only ones that are celebrating it. And we're celebrating it under fire. And we're truly happy because we know that our happiness will transform all of that hatred into love and appreciation and brotherhood. The holiday of Sukkot is the holiday of happiness and the holiday of brotherhood. God bless you all. Have a good day with Mashiach now.